Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my 2025 edition of me showing off my Rugrats collection. Now, I watched the video that I made, I say 2 years back, and I am surprised by how much my collection has grown. In that video, I really only showed you a lot of the new items in my collection, that being items I had bought since about 2017. So that included clothing, jewelry, accessories, a few fun art projects, and only a few of the items that I had started to collect that were vintage or thrifted. Since then, I have acquired a numerous amount of goodies, both old, vintage, and new, and I am so excited to show them off and talk about the items and how I acquired them and how much I love them and how fun it is to be going on these thrift store and vintage vendors market hunts. So this is how my collection is displayed. I can't have everything on these shelves due to space, but here is how I have set everything up. Your first look at the collection. The collection is so big, stuff has to be stacked over here. I don't have a lot of space in my room, and there is collections on the other parts of the shelf that are different, so this is how I have the Rugrats set up at this present moment in the year 2025. So let's just get started with a lot of the loose toys that I have. So the first item I want to show off is this weird collection of little Rugrats figures. So the first one here we have is Tommy, a little Chucky, very cute little pose there. Then we have Phil. Of course, next is Angelica. Next is a adorable Spike, one of the only Spikes in my collection thus far. And finally, we end it with another little Tommy. Very cute. So I got these toys at a little vendor's market. They were in a bag together, totaling $18. They weren't in package, they were loose, so I had a very hard time finding out where these guys came from. After a few searches on eBay, I determined that these items might possibly be bootlegs. These might be the very first bootlegs in my collection. I don't care, they're just a really cute, adorable display piece. I'm not sure what they were supposed to be originally. At first I thought they were game pieces, but now I just think they're little figures that, are meant to capture the characters. I don't care that they're bootleg. I think they are very cute, and I think it's really funny that they did 2 Tommies instead of one being Lil. So that is the first item I wanted to show off in my collection. The next items I wanted to show off were these adorable keychains that came out with the release of the first Rugrats movie in 1998. So first things first is Tommy with his detachable bottle. Next we have Chucky with his lenticular eyes, making him look left and right there. Next we have Phil, focus, and Lil. Finally have a complete set of twins here. And then finally we have Angelica with her detachable Cynthia. I just love this cheeky grin. I loved when the old merchandise had them with their silly expressions. So as I said, these keychains came with the release of the first Rugrats movie. So their packaging was the Rugrats movie 1998 purple packaging. And these guys are meant to just be fun, cute little keychains you can attach to your bags. I don't have the complete set. I believe there is also Reptar and Spike. And I would really like to have the Reptar and Spikes as well. I received these as a Christmas gift. My cousin found these, I believe, in the United States. She goes to the States sometimes and finds lots of Rugrats goodies because there, Nickelodeon is much more popular than it is in Canada. So I'm really grateful that she is able to go to a completely different country and do some Rugrats hunts for me for my collection. So there are these adorable Rugrats the movie keychains. The next thing I have to show off are my Nickelodeon blind box characters that I bought in 2017. So the first one I got was Red Shirt Tommy, which is the pilot version of Tommy. That's why his eyes look funny. They're meant to emulate the pilot episode, which was released in 1991. I believe the pilot episode was Tommy's first birthday. So here is him with his baby bottle. And then the second figure I got from the Nickelodeon Blind Box set was Chucky. I got Chucky. I think this is the special version with a Reptar shirt instead of his usual Saturn shirt. And his came with a detachable Wawa. Wawa is his homemade teddy bear that was introduced in the Rugrats in Paris movie. So while these are newer figures in my collection, I wanted to show them off because they were very, very cute and very well designed. And I loved the packaging that they came in as well. But as you'll soon find out, I am not an in-package collector unless the item would be awkward without it or it is a special case meant to hold the object. So most of the things in my collection are loose. I don't mind buying loose, it means they're cheaper. Next, I have a few loose Chuckies that I got at the collector's shop that I frequent. They just individually bag items and price them. So a lot of these items, I don't know their origin or their company for sure, but I will try looking them up in this video. So the first one here is from 2012. And it is just a very adorable Chucky figure. I love the freckles and the expression in the eyes. And of course, it captures his outfit and hair very well. I think he is very, very cute. And then I also have this very sweet, very adorable version of Chucky from 2018? 2017. And I just think he is so sweet. Look at that sweet little pose. Chucky is one of my favorite characters based on design alone and the way he is. He's just so cute. And I like that he's kind of a fearful baby, but that doesn't really stop him. And I think that this is the same character pose as those giant figures that they came out with of Chucky, Tommy, and Angelica. So cute. The next item I'm going to show off is one of the weirdest ones that I have in my collection because I don't know where it came from. I found this in a bucket, in a dollar bin bucket at a flea market where I just picked out a bunch of other random little toys. This is a detached Angelica. She has an edge that she sits on. So she was sitting on the edge of something, and I cannot for the life of me find where she is from. Now, she's doing an older pose, which is sort of pre-1998, and the pose is typically involved with her saying, "I'm the boss," which is in a lot of merchandise prior to the release of the Rugrats movie. And I have no idea where she's from. Some people have suggested like a jewelry box or some other such related thing, and I cannot for the life of me find her origin. Who knows if she's even bootleg or not? All it says is Viacom China on her back. So while Viacom is the proper copyright, I am not sure where she's from because she doesn't even have a year on her. But I assume she is older. I've tried pencil toppers, I've tried drink cups, I've tried jewelry boxes and other such display pieces, and nothing. So can anyone help me solve the mystery of this loose, mysterious, sitting Angelica? I would be grateful. Up next, I have a loose Tommy as Okie Dokie Jones from the 1998 Rugrats movie. These came as little action figure playsets, little toys that you could get prior to the release of the movie. So here he is dressed as Okie Dokie Jones, which is the Rugrats version of Indiana Jones and part of the beginnings imaginary scene of the first Rugrats movie. I really like this little outfit. He looks so cute. I love little different outfits that they wear and the merchandise that comes with their little outfits that they have. Such a cutie pie. And then finally, the last piece of my sort of loose collection is this Blockbuster exclusive Tommy with his ball. Now, these came in a pack of 4 with, I believe, Chucky, Angelica, and Spike. And he is from, I think 1998. I'm sure this came with the release of either the Rugrats VHS tapes that you could get at Blockbuster or the release of the Rugrats movie. But these were exclusive to Blockbuster, so they are a little harder to find. I was thrilled to find this one because I love figures that depict Tommy with his special ball. I love this ball. It's so cute and almost nostalgic, even though it was not nostalgic to my childhood, just the way I see it in the Rugrats. Super adorable figure. Hard to stand, though. I have all of these guys up on a shelf stuck with poster tack, so I need to find a better way to display all of these figures. Up next, I'm going to be showing off the iconic Burger King Kids Club meal toys of the Rugrats. Now, they came out with, I think, four different releases of different Rugrats toys. I'm going to try going in order of when they were released, but of course, I may make a few mistakes. But I really, really love these meal toys. It is one of the most nostalgic parts of my childhood, was going out to eat at either McDonald's, Wendy's, or Burger King and getting all of the meal toys that came with the meal. And a lot of the times, the Rugrats would come out with watches that you could also get as an in-meal purchase. The purchase came with the meal toy for free, but if you paid an extra $2, you would get the watches. So I just love that aspect of my childhood, and it is so upsetting to see the degradation of meal toys in modern day. I saw recently that McDonald's is just making you scan for little creatures on an app. And I think that is dystopian and sad, because kids want tangible toys that remind them of their favorite shows, games, movies, etc. So let's get started by showing off the Burger King toys. So the first round of Rugrats toys were actually for an American restaurant called Hardee's. They were released in 1994 along with other Nicktoons. All they came out with was Tommy on a rocking horse and Angelica on some other vehicle, and they are rarer to find in Canada because we don't have Hardee's here, and they are a very coveted item in my collection. But I do have most of the toys from the first round of Burger King toys from 1998. So I have this Tommy. He's supposed to crawl around on his butt, but mine is broken and all he does now is wiggle his butt. Next, I have this Angelica toy. She rolls, and as she rolls, her hair spins. I really, really love her. I love Angelica in the car merchandise. Next, we have Phil and Lil on this tandem bike. They are so cute. Nothing really happens with them. They just roll. If you pull back, they're supposed to go. And finally, we have Chucky on this little jumping bunny, and when you pull this lever, he starts to hop a little bit in little flicking motions. Now, mine isn't perfect, but it will jump. I just can't show that off on the blanket. Now, the ones I'm missing from this set are Reptar, so I have most of this Burger King release, and I'm so happy to have gotten them all. Once again, they were from my cousin in the States who went to a flea market, and these were in little $1.50 bins. The next set of Burger King toys I have, of course, is for the release of the very first Rugrats movie in 1998. This was a huge deal. One of the first times a Nickelodeon cartoon was in theaters. It might have even been the first time. And it was one of the first non-Disney animated movies to get $100 million at the box office. Now, I was 2 years old when this movie came out. I remember a lot of the marketing and advertising and merchandise from this, and I totally absolutely did see this movie, but I'm not sure if I saw this movie in theaters. But this is still a movie that holds a lot of nostalgia for me and has a lot of merchandise. So let's just show that off now, shall we? So the first thing I have to show are these Angelica Shirley Holmes Rugrats toys. In the movie, she goes to find the babies and dresses up as Shirley Holmes with little rollerblades and has Spike attached to her with a leash, and he basically sled dogs her down the hill. It's a very iconic scene. I have two of them because I bought one myself at a collector's shop, and my cousin got the other at those United States flea markets. One of mine is broken and sort of makes sound as she is supposed to move, but both of them do not work as they used to. They're very old toys. Secondly, I have this Tommy figure who can clamp to things. This was a very popular thing in the 90s. It was a little clip-on toy, so his head is made of plastic, but he is all soft and cushy, and he is meant to hold a little dill figure. That is what came with him in the package, but I do not have that dill figure. So he hangs off of my shelf. He's clipped to it, and I really, really love him. He's so cute, and I hope to find the dill someday. Next, I have Tommy, once again as Okie Dokie Jones, wearing his father's medallion from the movie, which is lenticular, if you can see. He's supposed to come with a hat, but that's okay that fell off. And he is one of the favorite toys in my collection because of what he can do. Now you pull his rope, and he climbs himself back up. So I hopefully will have this in focus so you can see. Just so cute. I love this toy and I'm so happy that it still works. Up next, we have the two vehicles from the Rugrats movie. The first one is the Reptar wagon. Now, this one was supposed to, when you flip a switch, was supposed to light up in the eyes, but the battery is dead on it because this is a toy that's like 25 years old. But my favorite part of this toy, I don't know if you can see it, it says there, it says manufactured by Pickles Industry on it because in the movie, Stu makes this Reptar wagon for the boys and also to try and sell to make money because he has two babies to feed. So I really, really love the Reptar wagon. I love that Busta Rhymes was the voice for the Reptar wagon. I think that's the coolest thing ever. I think that's really, really funny and iconic, and I love this piece. I hope to get more Rugrats wagon merchandise in my collection. And finally, we have the Daktar, which is the sort of villain to Reptar. And Stu also made this toy for the company. It also says created by Pickles Industry on the wing. And this guy just rolls, but as he rolls, his mouth opens. So I really, really love this piece of merchandise because I believe it is the only Daktar that they made. And I just love Reptar because of his close connection with Godzilla. My partner loves Godzilla, so I love having this little Reptar villain or like adversary figure. And it is just such a cool, unique piece in the collection because there's nothing else like it. And my final Burger King meal toy is this loose figure of Tommy on a roller coaster. Now, this was part of the giant Rugrats in Paris amusement park set that you could build, and it came with, I believe, 8 of the characters as well as their own little roller coaster piece, and when you put it all together, it makes this giant, I can't remember what they're called, but when you set off one form of motion, it sets off the next form of motion, and then eventually creates a giant amusement park for the babies, because in the sequel film, Rugrats in Paris, they go to Reptar Land in France, and it is just this huge amusement park. So this guy I really love. I found him on my own at a local toy shop, just bagged loose, and I was so thrilled to get him. I think he's an adorable display piece, even without his little amusement park addition. The next piece in my collection is one of my oldest pieces of merchandise, and that is this little topper from a lip balm. I love him. He's so ugly. His character design is so ugly, and I love him so much. He is on a different colorway of his iconic ball. I believe this one is more common in other people's nostalgia. I think this was like the Toy Story ball. And I just love his little DreamWorks eyebrow smirk expression. He's so cute. He's such a charming little fella. And for the longest time, I didn't know where this little guy came from. I just thought he was a pencil topper. But then I was like, hey, this part's too wide. So the mystery could not be solved for the longest time until my mom got me an in-package Kids Care Rugrats flavored lip balm. It is punch flavored lip balm, and he is sitting right on top in the package with his cheeky little expression. So I am so glad to have the loose figure so I could have him on display and play with him while the other in-package lip balm is hanging up in my collection. Here is where I currently have the lip balm displayed, and as you can see, it is the pre-Rugrats movie era packaging here, and I think he is so cool and so sweet. And of course, I will not be using the lip balm. My heat just clicked on, so apologize for the sound, but the next items I have to show off are ones that I just mentioned earlier, and I am so thrilled to have them in my collection. The way I found them is so lucky, and I am so glad that I finally have these to show off. And that is from the Rugrats movie, the Burger King watches that came with the purchase of a Kids Club meal. So the first one I have to show you is the Tommy variant, which shows the new character, Baby Dill. and has sort of a stopwatch action, as well as Tommy as Okie Dokie Jones, and little pictures of the characters. Now, these were released in 1998. They were digital watches. Of course, they no longer work because they're 25 years old, but I am so glad to have them as display pieces in my collection. So his little part was supposed to be like a stopwatch, and it is just a sweet blue design showing off the new baby brothers. Next, I have the purple Reptar variant, which would have been my favorite as a baby because I love purple and I love Reptar. It shows all the evil, sinister poses of Reptar. Reptar! And his part is lenticular, so you have a happy face and a roaring face from Reptar. And the final one that I have in my collection is the Angelica variant. So it is red and orange with flowers. Her is Shirley Holmes. And the part that was supposed to make it fun was all these bubbles with the flowers in it. Now, it is old. It has since evaporated a bit, but all the flowers were supposed to dance. The only watch I am missing is the Chucky one with monkeys on it that was supposed to smell like bananas. I found these at the same vendor's market as with those little figures that I thought were bootleg, and I got all three of these watches bundled in a bag for, get this, $20. Normally these watches sell from $25 to $30 on their own, and they don't even work. They don't even work, they're just pieces of plastic. So I am beyond thrilled and so lucky to have gotten these watches for such a good price. I was shaking when I found these because I didn't think that these were priced rightly, and I thought I was going to be getting them for $60, but no, $20 for all three. Now, other watches came out for the Rugrats in Paris movie, and I am looking for those as well. As a kid, I had the Susie and Angelica variant that talked, so I was so happy to have that, and I can't wait to find those in my collection again. The next item I have to show off is one I also mentioned earlier when I was talking about this little Chucky, and that is the giant figures that they made of Angelica, Tommy, and Chucky in 2017. I was so lucky to have found this. She's not complete, but I don't care. I love her so much. And that is the giant Angelica doll. I found her at a thrift store unboxed, loose, in the back showcase for $8. In box, she's normally $25 to $40, and I found her for $8. Now, she didn't come with Cynthia, but I don't care. I got her. I found her loose at a thrift store. Like, I can't believe it. I'm so lucky. Now, these were released in 2017 in cute boxes, and I just love her so much, but she is a total nightmare to try and display. She's like in the back of the shelf, like pushed up against other things, because all she does is fall over. She even fell over while making this video. I love her anyway. She's so sweet and so cute, and I hope to complete the trio someday, whether in box or loose. Finally, the next thing to show off in my collection is related to the last thing I showed with the giant Angelica, and that is the itty-bitty little versions of them. So here are the itty-bitty versions of those giant released dolls from 2017. These were part of those little minifigure blind boxes that they made in collaboration with Nickelodeon. So I have Angelica here with her Cynthia in box. Come on, focus. I have the Chucky with his Wawa. And then I have the Tommy figure that came with a bottle. Now, I found the Angelica and the Chucky in thrift store goodie bags that came with a bunch of those, what are they called, Shopkins and stuff. So the Chucky was 99 cents and the Angelica was $1. They also came with little SpongeBob versions of these mini box sets. And the Tommy I had to get off of eBay for $5, and he came with the miniature Hey Arnold as well. I love these little guys so much. They're so cute, and they are my version of having them in box. So even if I find the rest of them loose, I have them in box, technically, in these little baby versions. So cute. The next item I wanted to show off, I showed off in my previous video because it was a gift from one of my other cousins, but I couldn't resist showing off this guy because he is a vintage find. This is the 1998 Radio Shack, Rugrats, talking, singing, music playing, piggy bank. So it is Chucky, Tommy, and Spike, and they run together while the Rugrats theme song plays. This is the most expensive item in my collection. My cousin bought it for me for $35 at the toy shop, and I am just so thrilled to have such a rare, highly coveted item in my collection. A beautiful display piece that reminds me of the cake toppers that I once had on my birthday cake as a child. I just love this little moving piggy bank so much. Just a wonderful piece to my collection and one of the favorite items in my collection. The next item I want to show off is another one of my luckiest finds, I think the rarest item in my collection, and that is this Paramount Canada's Wonderland game ball that has Reptar, Chucky, and Tommy on it playing basketball. So I got this item at a local thrift store. And it says Paramount Canada's Wonderland, Paramount Great Adventure, Paramount King Dominion, Paramount King Island, Paramount Carowinds, which are all the different Paramount parks that used to own Canada's Wonderland here in my province. And this was a winning game ball, so it was probably the basketball game that you played, and this was one of the items you could win as a prize. It was Nickelodeon themed because they had a Nickelodeon themed area in the park. Now this is from 1998. I tried looking for this online and no one has it posted or even sold. So this is why I think this is the rarest item in my collection. Just a beautiful piece. It is so hard to display. It is in a old dollar store cat food dish. It is rounded so you can see and put the ball in. So this is such a highly coveted item in my collection. I love it so much, and it reminds me of Canada's Wonderland, which I went to as a baby and bought a bunch of Nickelodeon themed items. So I love this little teeny tiny gaming basketball. The next items I'm going to be showing off are also highly coveted items and items I was so excited to find for a steal on eBay, and that is the Rugrats movie promotional buttons. Now, lots of businesses, including Walmart, had these buttons given to employees for promotions for the release, theatrical or VHS releases of various movies. A lot of the nostalgic ones for people are the Disney ones, but for me it was these Rugrats pins. So here we have Spike for the Rugrats movie. We have Tommy for the video release. Chucky for the theatrical release. Phil and Lil for the video release. And finally, Angelica for the theatrical release. The only button I am missing is the Dill one where he is crying with Stu and Dee Dee in tow. And additionally, with this eBay order, I also got the Rugrats in Paris, the movie theatrical pin, which has everybody on it, including Kimmy. I don't have a lot of merchandise of Kimmy, even though I love her. This also has Spike and Fifi on it, and Baby Dill in a beret. So very cute Parisian-themed pin. And I am just so lucky to have these items. This whole lot sold for the price that one is normally sold on eBay. So I was really thrilled to get these items, and I am so excited to pin them to something very soon. Next items I have to show off are off of my very top shelf. So there is a lot of big items and a lot of new items as well. So the first item I wanted to show were the Nickelodeon brand Chucky glasses. I got these a few years back before I started collecting because, of course, I just wanted a pair of Chucky's glasses. And I actually got my own prescription pair in 2018 that looks exactly like Chucky's glasses. So I have this costume pair now, and I also have my real pair. They are a bit darker purple, but they fit my face better. So I finally got my childhood dream of having Chucky's glasses in both ways. The next items I wanted to show off were my Hallmark itty bitties of Chucky and Tommy. I got these around the same time that I got the Chucky glasses when I started to casually collect Rugrats items, a bunch of new items rather than vintage ones, and I just think they are very, very cute little additions to my collection. I really like Chucky's very, very fluffy hair. So they're just little beanbag friend guys. Up next, I have not one, but two decks of Rugrats playing cards. I've received both in my stocking, and they are technically different because the boxes are different, but the same cards are inside. So I have one sealed and one not sealed to be able to play them. Very, very cute. Next, I would like to show off my Rugrats Funko Pops. Now, I don't have the older set, which are now considered vaulted and therefore more expensive, so I have a lot of the Funko Pops from the 2021 reboot. So first off, I have Miss Susie with a little walrus stuffed animal. She is adorable. She's one of the favorite items in my collection. I love Susie so, so much. I also have Angelica holding Cynthia and crossing her arms, a very cute little pose. And then I have Tommy weirdly holding a teddy bear and not Reptar. I don't know why. I don't watch the reboot, so I have no idea why he has a teddy bear and not Reptar. The last one I need for this set is Chucky, and I think Chucky's holding Reptar, which I think is odd. So there are my Funkos. The next item in my collection is very, very special to me because it is the oldest item in my collection, one that I have kept since my childhood, and that is this 1998 little Tommy plushie. I've had him my whole childhood, as far back as I can remember. He's made by Mattel. He is very sweet. He has a yarn-based mouth and hair, and he is just so sweet, and I really, really like this design of him. A lot of Tommy stuffed animals are kind of ugly, but I think this one is very, very cute and charming, so I love him very, very much. Up next, there is an item in my collection that was the first one that I bought for the vintage collection that I just knew I had to own again. I had this item when I was a baby, but it got lost in my basement, and by the time I was moving, it was too grimy, dirty, and broken to keep, so I unfortunately had to give it away. It was really, really hard for me to do because this was a very, very special item for me. And then when I moved to the new city and started thinking about collecting Rugrats again, I immediately found this guy locally on Facebook Marketplace, and I got him for a really good deal bundled with another item in my collection. So here he is. It is the crying, noise-making Dill. He has a brick of a head. He is so heavy, and his body is plush, and he has a removable pacifier, and he makes sounds like hiccups, crying, laughing, and he says mine. So he is just a lovely, perfect little doll. He was one of my favorite dolls in my collection growing up. He works still. I'm not going to turn him on for today's video, but he still works. He has full batteries in him, and he's just perfect. And I'm so glad to have him back in my collection again. I adore him so, so much. He's very special to me. Up next is one of the newer items in my collection, and I've been saying this a lot, but he is one of my favorites, and he is one of the first items of this character in my collection. So this is Spike. I got a Spike. Look at him. He's so, so cute. I got a Spike stuffed animal. My cousin went to a toy fair and picked him up for me. He is so, so precious. I love him very much. He is from Applause, and I believe he's from 1998. He is from 1997, actually, so he is one of the older items in my collection because it is rarer to find items pre-1998 for Rugrats, because 1998 is when it blew up with the movie and show reruns. Anything prior to that was just general merchandise and just meant to sell to see if it would be popular. And I love Spike so, so much. He reminds me of my own dog, and I love him very, very, very much. So this is one of my favorite items in my collection, a Spike plush. These next few items are very, very exciting for me, very, very big, important items for me, and items with big stories. So first of all, he's going to be impossible to show, so I have to reshift my camera in order to introduce him. So this is a giant Chucky stuffy. Here is my hand for reference. He is very, very big, very bulbous, very puppety, and he is my son. I love him so much. He is the sweetest boy in the world. I found him at a consignment shop for $15. These weren't even retailed at $15 when they first came out in 1998. He was supposedly $29.99, and I got him for an absolute steal. At first I thought the guy said $50, and I was like, absolutely, I'll pay for that. And then he rang it up as $15, and I could have died. This is a holy grail in my collection. He's such a big and beautiful piece of the collection. He is so special to me. I had to carry him home on 2 buses and I'm just so happy. And my favorite thing about him are these giant prop glasses, but look what's underneath. His little eyes. Oh, he's so cute. I love him so much. He sits on top of my shelves. Giant boy. There's nowhere else to put him. I love him so much. This giant huggable Chucky. The most special boy in the whole wide world. I love him. He's the cutest. This next item I'm going to show off is absolutely nuts that I even found anywhere, because I can't find any listings anywhere on eBay or Facebook. I found one in Quebec and I found one listing on eBay. This thing is so cool and so insane, and I am so grateful to have found it at a thrift store for $7.99. And that is the Rugrats Adventure Grandpa's Trailer toy. And it's full of my dolls. So this was Grandpa Lou's camper. It came out in 1998. It came with a Grandpa Lou toy and various other accessories. I didn't get any of the accessories, but that's okay. I am more than happy to have gotten this gorgeous purple trailer with all these really cute items and stickers in it. The dolls I have bought separately, and I will show in a minute. But a very nice person at the thrift store said that there was a Rugrats trailer somewhere in the toy section, and I ran immediately to go get it. This was the same day I got the giant Angelica figure, and I was just so thrilled to have found this. She saw that it was special because it was Rugrats, because of that logo right there. So I'm so lucky and thankful for that thrift store worker. Shout out to her. I also found a Rugrats Adventures Angelica, who is meant to be, I believe, with a wagon or a scooter, and I found her loose at a collector's shop, but she is meant to go with this Rugrats Adventures set, which also came with playgrounds, Chucky, Tommy, Angelica, and Grandpa. So I will now show off all of the dolls inside this really cool, once again, holy grail item. So I found a lot of these dolls loose at the same collector's shop, and a lot of them are unfortunately a little bit naked, so I will protect their modesty. The first one I got is this Rugrats movie Phil with no clothing on, but I can tell it's the Rugrats movie because he has his hiking boots on. I can't remember what his costume is. I think it's like a pirate or something. I then have multiple Chuckies. These are only 2 out of 4 that I own, and they each don't have a full outfit. Next, I have School Time Tommy, which is actually a very rare one. The whole School Time set has been sold for $1,000 before. So I'm very lucky to have this adorable School Time Tommy in this really cute full outfit of his. Next, I have Angelica's dad, Drew. Very cool to have his full intact outfit and everything. And finally, I have Tommy's mom, Dee Dee, full intact outfit. Her tag was just cut off, obviously to make it easier to play with. But I love her very much, and I'm glad that Tommy has a babysitter for all these little kid dolls that I have. I plan to collect more of the dolls, especially Angelica, and I am looking forward to finding more of those, hopefully in the wild very soon. That bundle also came with a little shirt, which I knew was Rugrats due to the logo, and I had no idea who it belonged to, but I have figured out it is the slumber party costume for Reptar, which is why it has this hole in the middle. It is for his tail. I hope to find a Reptar figure too. That sounds so cute. The next items I wanted to show off are Rugrats party supplies. Now, I got this tablecloth that I'm going to open up here. I got this tablecloth at a collector shop in a different city, and it was so cool. It is a very cool kind of plastic, which is not the cheap plastic that can have holes ripped into it. I think it's vinyl, and so I can reuse it anytime I want. It is way bigger than this, but this has the full picture on it here. Has Susie, Tommy, Lil, Spike, Reptar, Angelica, Chucky, and Phil. It opens up super big to fit onto a picnic table, and I am so glad to have found it. I am so lucky that I am going to be able to reuse this because the fabric is so durable. And then at that same toy fair where my cousin picked up Spike, she picked up a whole baggie of party supplies. So in here there are noisemakers, there are party hats, there are party bags, and here is a better look at the party hats. As you can see, they match that tablecloth that I just showed you. So I was so lucky to find these sealed party supplies so I can throw a Rugrats party anytime I want. So excited and so cute. And at that same toy fair, my cousin found this sealed wrapping paper of Rugrats. So it is springtime themed. We've got Dill with bees, Chucky being chased by bees, butterflies around Reptar, Phil and Lil are covered in bugs, and Tommy has a butterflies net. Now this is from American Greetings gift wrap, and this is from the year 2000, I believe. It's a really long tube of paper. So just super very cool item, and I don't know if I'll ever use this. I don't know if I'll keep it sealed or not. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. The next item to show you is this sealed sticker extravaganza from 1997. It is Sandy Lion Rugrats sticker collection, which comes with 6 rolls of stickers and a sticker album. This item was bundled with that Dill that I got, that giant Dill doll. And I got this in a bundle for such a good price. Once again, online, this is being sold for very expensive. And I'm so lucky to have gotten it. It has the iconic packaging of the Rugrats pre-1998. And it is just so cute and so sweet. And I remember seeing these stickers while growing up. So I was very thrilled to have a full roll of sealed stickers. I have opened it since and played with it a little bit. Got a few stickers out. But I am just glad to have this as a really cool display item in my collection. Next up, my cousin went to the States and found me this giant Tommy floor puzzle. It is 46 pieces. It is a huge cutout of the character. It ends up being 3 feet tall. I have completed the puzzle and I just adored it. I am so happy to have this. It is such a cute little idea for kids. It is Mattel. I believe it is either 1997 or 1998 when this was released. It is just such a sweet and very cool item to have in my collection. And someday I hope to mount this puzzle up somewhere, like on my wall. So just a sweet, really adorable little item to add to my collection. Thank you to Amanda for donating this. The next items I have to show off is all of my Rugrats multimedia. So let's just start with the CDs. I showed these in my previous video, but they are CDs that I have kept since my childhood, and that is the Rugrats movie official movie soundtrack, music from the motion picture, and Rugrats in Paris, the movie's soundtrack. I opened those a bit in my previous video, so I'm just going to show them off like this. I am glad that I kept these from my childhood because obviously CDs aren't as common anymore, and they are just really cool and have advertisements in them and pictures, and I love the songs off of both of these albums. Next, I have a few computer games. So my fiance gifted me the Rugrats Adventure game, which has a bunch of mini games on it. It is a little PC game for babies. It's very cute. It came out in 1998, and it is just super cool, super neat, and what a nice, lovely display for my collection, because I don't think I can play this anymore, at least on my laptop. And I also found a French version of the Rugrats Adventure game at a local book and comic shop, and he just gave it to me for free because he had no idea what it was. So it's Les Défis de Razmoke, and it is just the French version of the Rugrats movie CD-ROM game. So it is cool to have a French version of something, which is more common in Canada. Now onto my VHS tapes. I wish to have more of a VHS collection because these are super, super nostalgic to me, that being the Nickelodeon orange tapes. So the first ones I have to show are the clamshells for Rugrats the movie, as well as Rugrats in Paris. So these are the bigger versions, the clamshells that they only really gave out for children's movies because they thought children would break the cardboard sleeves more. So they gave clamshells as a way for kids to have a safer movie. This one, of course, comes with that cat dog episode, which is one of the only cat dog episodes I've ever seen. And I never liked it, even as a baby. I thought it was very uncomfortable. And Rugrats in Paris doesn't come with cat dog, thankfully. And my only other non-film VHS is Rugrats Mommy Mania, which is all of the Mother's Day episodes, including that one where Chucky finds out that he doesn't have a mom, and Chaz has to explain everything, and it's really, really sad. Now on to the DVDs. I thrifted all of these DVDs except for one, which I found at my Walmart. So I got the Rugrats movie on DVD. The first 4 seasons of the show, which are the most nostalgic to me, I did a rewatch in 2020, and I don't really think the other seasons hold up, so I have seasons 1 to 4. As well, I have the trilogy of Rugrats movies, including Rugrats Go Wild as well. This is the one from Walmart. I also got Rugrats All Grown Up, which has the first episode of it, as well as a few episodes of the series All Grown Up, which I also did a rewatch during lockdown, and it does not hold up, so I'll only have a few compilation discs that I find thrifting of this show. And then finally, my most recent one is Rugrats Mysteries, which has a few episodes from the newer seasons, as well as from the tape Grandpa's Favorites. So just a cute little compilation disc. And the last item I want to show from my Rugrats collection is all of my Rugrats books, comics, and ephemera. So the first ones I'm going to show you are the books that are not connected to the films. So these are books from 1997 to 2000. I have found all of these books while thrifting, except for a few which were a gift from my fiance, and another specific example which came from eBay. So behold, Rugrats Blast Off from 1997. Rugrats Space Invaders, a Scholastic book from 1997. Where the Sharks Are from 1998. Rugrats Vacation, which is the storybook version of the episode, which is one of my favorite episodes of the show. It has a little bit of damage because it was a former library book, but every other picture is still intact on the inside. We have Rugrats, More Jokes by David Lumen, who is a very common Nickelodeon writer. You see him writing a lot of Nickelodeon books, and here is one of the joke books, one of many. We have Here Comes Santa from 2000, which is an adorable book where the babies meet Santa and Dill is involved. And we have my first chapter book, which was a gift from my fiance when they were out thrifting, the Rugrats Files, a time travel adventure, Yo Ho Ho and a Bottle of Milk, which is the second book in the series. I think that this is so cool that the Rugrats have chapter books. Just very interesting stuff. And now we will talk about the books that I have that go with each film. So for the Rugrats movie, which came out in 1998, I only have one of the picture books, and that is Tommy's New Playmate, which is introducing Tommy and Dill for the first time. The other books in this series are Chucky and the Monkeys, the Rugrats movie storybook, Hang On to Your Diapers, Babies, and the movie's novelization. So I hope to find those someday as well. For Rugrats in Paris, I have a few more books. The first being the Rugrats in Paris joke book by David Lumen. So I have another joke book set for this. I think there were 2 more written as well. Next, I have Rugrats in Paris, the movie A Dream Come True, which I believe is just a condensed version of the movie. It's him realizing that this lady here at the front is not going to be his future mom like he thinks. And finally, I have the giant Rugrats in Paris storybook, which is a illustrated version of the movie. Very, very cool stuff. Very pretty. Very nice and big, and the cover is textured. So there are quite a few more books for the Rugrats in Paris movie, which I, of course, hope to find someday out in the wild. For the Rugrats Go Wild movie, which is the crossover film with the Wild Thornberrys, I actually have almost all of the books that they published for this. Now, I have my first one here, Rugrats Go Wild Castaways, which is them being established as being deserted on the island. And as you can see, the other books that came out for this movie were Angelica Island Princess, Spike Speaks, and the Rugrats Go Wild novelization. This movie was not as popular as the other two, so not a lot of merchandise was done for this film. As I said, I have one of the other books, and that is Angelica Island Princess. So I am halfway done completed the major storybooks for this film. While in the United States, my cousin found me these two activity books. The first one being Rugrats Go Wild, Call of the Wild. And they are not completed. They are fully intact. So this is basically a colorable storybook of the film. Very adorable. I really, really love this. And I also have Rugrats Go Wild Search and Rescue. Pictures appear with the rub of a coin, and this one is also completely unused. So just super great stuff. What a lucky find. Oh my goodness, I didn't even know these existed. Super, super cool. These were made by Golden Books. And finally, for the Rugrats Go Wild, I got myself a magazine off of eBay, and that is Tribute Kids. It was the magazine that they would display at the movie theater when movies came out. And I got this one because it has an article about Rugrats Go Wild, it has a poster, and it also had all of the trading cards intact. So it has the French version of their name as well as the English, because this is a Canadian magazine. And I am just so excited to have the trading cards because these are super, super, super rare. So I have a very good collection going on with the Rugrats Go Wild, funnily enough. Now for the modern books in my collection, I only have a few. The first being the Rugrats Reboot Super Stupor Sticker Collection book, which is an activity book featuring 500 stickers. So once again, this one is completely unused and intact and features all of these fantastic stickers in them, which I'm not a huge fan of the Reboot's art style, but hey, it's still the characters that I know and love, so I have a lot of stickers that I'm going to be using, which is very, very great. And the 2D versions of them aren't too bad. These are harder to get because in Canada, they didn't really accept the Reboot. Nickelodeon is more of an American thing, so it was only streaming on Paramount Plus, and I have not watched it yet. I don't think I will. Next, I have the modern comics made by Kaboom. I bought these at a used bookstore. So I have Volume 1 of the Kaboom Rugrats comics, and I have Volume 2 of the Rugrats Kaboom comics. I have yet to read these, and I'm very, very excited to read them. And now for my final little addition, that being my ephemera. I don't have too much of it. If you don't know, ephemera is loose paper or other paper items. And the first one is this sticker set from the year 2000. It is just Tommy and Chucky. Cute, cute, cute. And it has the sort of newer post-1998 Rugrats blue design on them. They have different eras of advertisement designs. And I will also be showing off my trading cards. I got a pack of trading cards from that same toy fair where I got Spike. So I'm very excited to show those to you. I got 7 cards, the first 3 being various stills from the episode The Trial, where this clown thing breaks, and all the babies are put on trial to see who could have possibly done it. I also have 2 episode cards from the episode Touchdown Tommy, where they go to a baseball game. I have the character card for Little Miss Susie, and my rare card is the Tommy's Favorites card, Tommy's Ball. if these have backings on them where they describe the episode. And these ones have that too. Show that off. So yeah, those are my Rugrats trading cards. Very, very cool, and I hope to collect a few more someday, but trying to get the whole collection is very expensive. So that is finally it. That was my Rugrats collection. I am going to give myself the opportunity to add any more clips right here in case I forgot anything. But this video is already long enough, so I'm going to sign off here. Thank you so much for exploring my collection with me. This is my pride and joy. I love this collection so much, and I can't wait for it to grow as I hunt and buy more items to add to my fantastic collection. It makes my heart so happy. I love finding Rugrats items in the wild. I have so much fun with this collection, and I hope you had fun looking at it and hearing me talk about it. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more collection content as well as reading content. I hope to see you all soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye. There's my shadow. Up next, I have not one, but two decks of Rugrats.